the same thing I've told them before, but they'll never get the message, most of them, but a few do, that the most, best thing to do if you want to invest for the long term
is index.
And it's the S&P 500 index.
Right.
And what's happened, of course, is that organizations like to grow. So they set up indexes on different industries, different countries. And as soon as you do that, you're violating basically what Jack Bogle said. He says you don't know enough to pick the right businesses, which means you don't know enough to pick the right countries, you know enough.
All right, let me get to that. And that's something I want to get to. But we will see a time in which the Chinese economy is bigger than the U.S. economy.
Someday, they got 4 times as many people, and logically, they will grow and grow, and we're the 2 superpowers.
Are they going to grow as fast as they have been growing?
It's hard to tell. No, I don't know the answer to that.
But they've got some issues. They've got issues.
Sure.
They've got issues of.
They've
got issues of debt. They've got issues of.
Everybody's got issues.
Demographics.
Yeah, everybody's got issues.
Those kind of issues.
Everybody's got issues.
They've got also issues.
We've had issues throughout the history of the United States.
They've also have issues of the environment and climate. The UN just released a report, and we have heard it, and we constantly hear it. How worried are you about our success in protecting the planet?
Well, the biggest threat, obviously, is nuclear weapons, but it doesn't mean you don't protect against other things.
Right.
And if there's a 1% chance, even, and it's way high, I can't quantify it, but if there's a 1% chance of something causing the world trouble, 10 years from now, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, we ought to be working on that too.
Are we doing enough?
We're doing a lot. The problem is, of course, that it requires the whole world to do a lot.
There are a lot of problems like that, including the pandemic, including the environment,
Sure.
that transcend national boundaries and need cooperation.
The virus doesn't have to clear your immigration.
No, it doesn't. The virus does not have to clear immigration.
No, that's that simple.
It can be brought in
there's
by one person.
There's a lot of other things that aren't physical viruses.
When you look at Tim Cook,
I think he's terrific. It's that simple. I've written the annual report.
Yes.
And he is.
He's a great manager.
He's not only a great manager, he's a great human being, but he's a great manager too. He's an incredibly great manager, but he's a great human being.
What do we look for in a great manager?
You look for him. You look for somebody that has
results.
You look for somebody that has ability, trust, and character.
Ability, trust, character.
Yeah, somebody you can trust. Same thing you want in a spouse. Charlie always says you want to marry somebody better than you are. He says in my case that leaves the whole world practically. But it's the truth. I mean, you always want to be around people who are better than you are. They pull you in the right direction.
What's the chemistry? What's the nature of the relationship between you and Charlie? It's a long relationship.
We met in May of 1959. His father died. He had worked in the same grocery store as I had in 1940. I worked there in 41. And we never met. I didn't know his name. And his dad was, well known in Omaha, but I just didn't happen to know. I was a kid, and we moved to Washington. And so it was a name
Your dad went to Congress.
I never heard his name until 1959. Or no, I heard the name when I met the Davis. It was maybe 57 or 58. He came to Omaha in 1959. We met. And it's been, the best relationship, except others I've had, in family and so on. But it's been, he's been the person along with Tom Murphy and a fellow named Joe Rosenfield, subsequent to my dad, that I didn't want to disappoint. Good to have somebody in your life you don't want to disappoint. It's enormously important. Makes you a better person.
Do you disagree on a lot of things, or?
Well, we've never argued. We've never had an argument. People say, "Well, that's impossible." I'm telling you, we've never had an argument. Yeah,
but you could say, "I believe this," and he says, "I believe this." You just don't argue about it.
Yeah, but we don't even have to say it hardly. we may know where that I would say this or that. Why bring it up?
He, I think, has expressed some concern about index funds.
I support everything Charlie says, but I don't agree with it. I don't mean on that. I mean, it doesn't mean I agree with him on everything, and he doesn't agree with me on everything. And we've never had a problem with that since '59.
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
What about him?
Jeff is a friend of mine, but I probably see him personally. I see him once a year, probably. Yeah, and I can't recall ever talking to him on the telephone. Maybe I have. Or I've never sent him an email. But I don't know how to send emails.
you know how to get them, son.
Yeah, no, I've got a system, but I don't. I literally don't know how to send an email.
You seem to have done okay without knowing.
So far.